you in Łódź, your first visit.
Yes.
Please let me know what is the purpose your visit, where you come from, and why Łódź?
Okay, I'm very excited to be here. It's thanks to Yolanda, director of the Academy of Fine Arts, and the city of Łódź, represented, of course, by the president, the vice president, and Mrs. Monica, who have been very, very warm and welcoming to us. I come from the Dubai Institute of Design and Innovation, which is a new design university in Dubai. And it's my first time in Poland, and it's been a great experience so far.
This is interesting that you see that how to use the history and backgrounds here.
Yes,
That is very interesting.
definitely. That's something that we need in Dubai. We need to show our students and bring in our faculty, our teachers, to see how continuity can create culture and can create a story that can be then carried forward. A lot of the things that the academy teaches, we don't teach. So there's also a possibility for our students to come learn things that we don't have the capacity to teach, or we don't have have them structured in the curriculum. However, the students are asking for them. I'll give you an example, like freehand sketching, something we don't teach. But the students have been asking for freehand sketching. The reason is, why don't we teach freehand sketching? Well, there are two reasons. The first reason is that we believe students will learn the skills they need from the projects they're working on.
Yeah, this is the best way.
That's what we think. At the same time, the students feel that their drawing skills are not improving in the first year at least. And they feel that they need extra courses to become good and adept at sketching. So they've been asking us, can we take classes here, classes there? This is a good example that the Art Institute, this is just one example.
Yeah.
Maybe someone wants to do sculpture, maybe someone wants to do weaving, they want to do all these things. I mean, you have a treasure at the academy, which are the looms. I mean, no one has this. So that alone, if we do like a 10-day workshop with the students on the looms, that's a huge experience for them. And it ties into the heart of what Łódź is about. So this is a rich experience.
Yeah, I think also that the treasure we have in the Museum of Modern Art, one of the part is outside in the Manufactura.
Yes.
And I think those rich industrial also treasure, which is possible to see at the architecture and all of design in the palaces and the connection, how the old buildings with the new, that is all the things which should be incorporated in the, let's say, better city for life.
Yes, it's true. Except in Dubai, we don't have old architecture. Well, we have, it's in one neighborhood, but there isn't the need to what you have in which is to renovate, you know, the 19th century and maybe earlier architecture and adapt it to. This is a problem that Dubai doesn't face. Because it's a modern city, it's you know, 20th century.
Yeah, and you are originally from US, from Boston. Say something, why Dubai decided to create the Design and Innovation Institute? Because there's like something new which is coming for the transformation of the, let's say, Dubai surroundings economy. What was the idea behind it? Why you decide to join the institute?
Well, one thing I want to clarify, I am from the US and my home is Boston. At the same time, I was born and raised in Lebanon, in Beirut. So that originally I'm from Beirut. Yes, and I'm proud of that city because it has a very rich design culture as well. And that's where I think I got my design culture, although I was educated in the US at MIT and at Harvard, did my degrees in architecture. And I've always been teaching, so I've always been practicing and teaching. And because I've been teaching for so long, 25 years now, I found that in the past 5 years, the world was going in a direction while the design academies were still teaching the old things. So for example, all of my clients want apps. And I look at my team, my design team in my office, in my studio. They're all brilliant people, very talented, but no one knows how to make an app. And we're not going to learn on the client's time. It's not fair for the client, it's not fair for everyone. So I felt that we had to rethink the way we teach design. We had to find a way to not keep up with the market, but be ahead of the market. So I started thinking about it and talking about it and trying to find ways to make it happen. Now, I was in Beirut at the time, and the academies in Beirut are well established.
Yeah.
They are at least 50, some of them are 100, 150 years old. They were not ready for the change.
Yeah, that's always, it's when you have the established staff, professors, they are follow the rules, but always...
And they are doing great. I mean, they are producing very talented, successful designers and architects and graphic designers. As I mentioned, they are not prepared for the fourth industrial revolution.
Yeah,
they are good in the third industrial revolution, maybe, but in the fourth, they are not prepared. So, as I was doing that and going around and talking to people and really evangelizing the importance of this change, Dubai, in parallel, I didn't know, had gone to MIT. And to start a design school in Dubai, modeled on the MIT version, which brings in technology, innovation into the design field. Now, just because it's small world, because I'm an MIT graduate, and the dean of the MIT School of Architecture is a friend of mine, because we went to Harvard together.
That's most of the things in the world happens due to the personal relation.
I think so, and I was very lucky because he called me and said, would you be interested in meeting the people in Dubai? This is what they're thinking. I said, sure, I'll meet them. Why not? I'm open and I want to find the right place to do it. And I went there in December 2015. It was a 10-minute meeting and I was hired. Because we were on the same page.
We
found each other.
Just the proper window.
Exactly, because they were looking for someone who understood the academic implications of a new curriculum, who understood MIT, and who could speak Arabic, right?
Yeah, that's you was perfect.
That's perfect, right? And also, I was looking for someone who was willing to start the university with these ideas in mind. How do you prepare students for the fourth industrial revolution in design? So it was a meeting of the minds, and I joined them as a consultant from February 2016 when we launched the project. We went to MIT and Parsons in New York, and then we came back, and then we went again in 2017 to MIT and Parsons to prepare, and by August 2017 I moved to Dubai. And then my family joined me a year after.
Yeah, that's always the crucial decision. Be alone, what with family, how to do, move or not, this long-term project.
So it's been a great experience. We have incredible students. They are so switched on, and they are excited about those things. So one student told me, she was a medical student. She finished medical school and realized she wants to be a designer. And she heard about us, so she applied and she got in. She has a beautiful portfolio. And after 1 year, she came to me and she said, I wanted to be an interior designer. But now that I'm here and I realize what the power of design is, I want to design wearables for healthcare to improve the life of people. And I was like, this is exactly what we're trying to do here. We don't want to keep doing the same things we do. We want to realize there are new avenues in design.
That so technologies is implemented now in our life.
And to solve people's problems. Not just to make things pretty and...
that is always the question when there's, let's say, new projects appears and some people have idea to their entrepreneurship, starting to do the things, and always the question is if they could solve the problems and make the market.
Exactly.
That's...
So that was exactly the kind of transformation we wanted. So students come with an idea about design and then realize that design with the fourth industrial revolution is about creating fulfilling experiences that solve people's problems. So design becomes fundamental and core to change in the world. So
Yeah.
it's not an afterthought. It's
You must be forward
Yes.
and look forward instead of just looking what happens with technology
Yeah.
and trying to move around.
Yes.
That is the most important things that designer with the vision is needed.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, that is great project, and hopefully that will be the cooperation, because what is happens, and I suppose some of Polish entrepreneurs or designers sometimes is afraid.
Yeah.
Now we live in the global world,
Yes.
and understanding of the different culture, how the things is changing. That probably Europe is no more the center of the things.
Okay.
We see the switch and movement, the things to the east.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Clearly, yes.
that's China, Singapore, and all those areas, and Arabic states where put a lot of things on the technology, innovation. Let's say to be prepared for the post-oil area.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And Dubai has been not dependent on oil for at least 15 years now. They had the vision that oil is a depletable, non-reusable resource. And so they shifted their economy about 15 years ago, if not more, away from oil dependence. And now all the oil-rich Arab states, not all Arab states have oil. And they are also realizing that they have to shift years, and Dubai is now building the world's largest solar park, for instance.
Yeah, that's be ahead also in the technologies, and let's say be on the first line is always risky. Yeah. But when you not take the risk, that you need to be, let's say, you could lose the competence.
That's right. I agree.
That is very interesting. That and if how do you think that will be possibility make the also connections like the students join projects, because I suppose there is the most important interesting things that at the early stage the students could work between the cultures and to understand each other, building the projects with the let's say global fits, as you mentioned this example of design for the wealth and health medical new devices. There is the things which should solve the problems, not to one nation, no one group. That is global things.
I agree, and my dream is, after being in Łódź, is to find ways for our students and academy students to work together, and also with the technical university as well. We met with them as well.
Okay.
That was very kind of them as well. We're excited. They have an international program, so it's in English, so that would be easier for our students. We only have one student who speaks Polish.
Yeah, that's, we understand that. We understand that. That's now English is the common assets to sharing the know-how, to sharing the culture, treasures in the most places over the world. But that is surely improved. That the younger generation already has, even from kindergarten, different languages.
That's true.
And they are completely in a different world compared to 40, 50 years ago. When
and I think Dubai is a very good example of that. I mean, we have 24 nationalities in our university. We're 90 students, so you can imagine. I mean, we are growing because this is our second year. But if you think about it, 90 students, 24 nationalities. That's really intense diversity. And one of our professors, her mother is from Łódź.
Wow!
Yes.
That is strict connection.
Yeah, she came from the UK.
Okay.
Her father is Pakistani, and her mother is from Łódź.
That was the time that the foreign students came to Łódź to learn for 2 years Polish.
Okay.
Because that was the model in the former, before the change. That when someone from the foreign countries would like to study in Poland, that was 2 years Polish language course. One of the center was Łódź. And there is a lot of people I'm meeting some over the world, even in Africa.
Really?
That
speak Polish. Amazing.
Sometimes even better than someone today.
Amazing.
You can imagine the director of President Parliament of Mozambique.
Yes.
He speaks fluently Polish. He has the Polish wife. He was here for the studying Polish language and afterwards doing the studying law in Szczecin.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
That's making the
and why not? This is the postmodern world. This has to be the norm rather than the abnormal.
That's. I see also another opportunities. I have colleagues who is professor at the New York City University. Andrzej Krakowski. He's finished the movie school, film school here in Łódź, and full life in US producing the movies. And we also discuss how important is this multinational culture, because the New York City College and universities over 182 nationalities in one place, and that's mixture brings the new ideas, exchange of things that we can say faster the innovation.
That's true. I totally agree. Innovation happens when we are able to connect in horizontal as well as vertical. And typically the way since the Enlightenment, since the modern age, if you want, we started categorizing things into verticals, like science, and then science you have biology, physics, and you know how, and chemistry, and they are separate, and then the chemistry breaks into different things, and we call this
small molecules,
and they don't talk to each other. And this is what we call the tree. So it's a good way of understanding knowledge, but we think of the trunk and then the branches. What we discovered is that the branches stop talking to each other. So for innovation to happen, we have to be able to cross across. And so we changed from seeing the world as a tree structure into a rhizome structure. Rhizome is more like a network. And so now everything we talk about is network. The next generation, they don't know what a tree model is, they just know a network. And then we have to keep thinking of what comes after the network. Because it becomes three-dimensional, and we are able to express it in three-dimensional ways, which our brains are not designed to do. So we have to push our thinking to be able to imagine the future. We cannot keep thinking in the old way. So enlightenment is called the Enlightenment because it was coming after the Dark Ages. But we have moved on since then, but not many people realize that.
And that is great opportunities, and I see that we can say, we also discussing that we have this specific silo on education.
Absolutely.
Technical university, art, there is a film school, there is a medical universities, and step by step there is starting to talk each other. First of all, finding the language that they could communicate. That is one thing. And second thing is the willingness to cooperate across the different disciplines. Because I was seeing some projects done with the very technical way and good technology at the technical university. Really, design was tricky. And connection with the and making the teams interdisciplinary. I see that there is the most challenging things to force the things forward and to make the innovation in the practice.
And that's why in our first year already we have collaborations with the medical university in Dubai. Again, one of those lucky coincidences. The associate dean is a surgeon. He's from Mexico. He studied at Stanford. And Stanford has the D School, which is where IDEO pushed the ideas of design thinking. So he was exposed to design thinking. So when he came to the university in Dubai, he said the first thing we need to do is to bring in design into the curriculum. And the doctors were saying, why? And he was saying, because of what you were saying, that the innovation will happen when we start breaking those silos. So we've done several projects with the medical university. It's been incredible for the students and the faculty and the industry, because the industry is seeing the results joined between design, engineering, and medicine. And the other thing is that in the way we built the curriculum, it is built from day one that students learn what we call visual literacy. And they learn technological proficiency and strategic fluency. So we combine strategy, technology, and design from first year. From first year. So they learn about the business side of it. They learn about the tech, so they learn in the first year artificial intelligence, robotics, gamification. I can go on. So from the first year, and in the beginning they are complaining. Oh, it's too much. Now they feel empowered because they know how to do.
They have overview and they are able to find the
they
partners.
Can make holograms. They can make, so their design ideas now can be implemented with the new technologies, and it is seamless for them. It's not something. Now there's a danger to that. This danger I've been thinking about because I'm watching the first year. The danger is that students who want the pure design education may not be happy with this, right? So someone wants to, so I saw it in the second year. Some of our students in the first year who appeared to be struggling, now that they are because in the second year they go into their different disciplines. When I see her fashion work, she's a natural born fashion designer. But when it came to coding and came to the technological side, she was struggling because she's not made that way. So what we have to do is observe and learn and say, how can we then, for someone like this special student, how can we make sure she doesn't suffer in the first year? So this is our task. This is what we have to figure out.
But the approach to we can say you trying to establish the leaders of the future.
Yes, absolutely.
That is great, and such connection is really needed for
I'm glad to hear that.
That's we seen, and also I suppose that there also way to break the borders, so we could say, by joining projects which could solve the real problems. Because a lot of things to do to save our life on the planet, and let's say a few words about your imagination about Poland and Łódź as your first visit. What would you like to say for others if that is interesting to come to this part of the world?
The first thing is that the hospitality has been terrific. The academy, with the leadership of Yolanda, the city, with Monica, we spent a lot of time with Monica, and with the greetings of the president and the vice president. They were very present in their welcome to us. So, and taking care of us at everything, even getting an interpreter. Right. So the attention to details and all of that. What's impressive, it's a very impressive country. What I like is it is a calm country. It doesn't have the pace of Dubai. Dubai is very fast paced. It's just moving so fast. Here I felt comfortable, calm, everything's on time, everything's working, so it feels established as a country, as a place, and the history is extremely rich, and the countryside and the greenery and the natural combined with the architecture. It's really a fantastic place, and I think our students would find, in a way, it's very much in contrast to Dubai. So Dubai, inside it's 18 degrees, and outside it's 35 degrees. Here it's the opposite, right?
But only summer. The summer could even be hotter. Really? The major things in Poland is the difference between summer and winter. You can imagine, I suppose that the coldest winter was minus 37. And plus 37.8 even could happen in the summer. That means that we are prepared with the quite big range of the temperature and climate. But the difficulties of the feeling of the difference between outside and inside. But this is the challenge also, how to find the way, how to prepare the good space and areas for people living in such difficult condition. That is interesting.
And about difficult conditions, we have a professor whose specialty is designing for Mars, for outer space habitats. And so what's interesting is that a lot of the ideas that he comes up with the students and with the workshops that we do on designing habitats for Mars, a lot of the ideas, like rapidly deployable structure, printing from resources that you have, lightweight construction, all of that can be applied in the desert. So you can apply a lot of the, and he makes the argument that a lot of the ideas that we use today on Earth came from the moon research.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of the ideas, including in technology, in manufacturing, materials. Yeah. So it's very interesting that in harsh climates, how do you adapt humanity to it? And the best way to do it is to go to Mars.
Yeah, that's those ideas, I suppose, that will be the forcing a lot of things for the changing and making the new revolutions of the technologies, how to make the, let's say, transport between the planets possible, and living the new, totally not good things or space for human, but hopefully that we are on the world, that human will be the most important resources, and we will move forward to prepare, to design and innovate just for better life of the people and saving the planet as the major treasure we have. And we could and we need to share with our children and grandchildren.
Absolutely. And it ties into what we call the 4 C's of our educational pedagogical approach, if you want. So the first C is the conceptualization. So students have to learn to be able to conceive ideas. The second one is communication. How do you communicate these ideas to anybody, to the layperson, to a potential client, to another institution, to anybody? So we have to learn communication skills. The third one is the crafting, which is the making. How do you make it properly? And what ties into what you were saying is the 4th C, which is the most important one, which is the why, which is caring. Why do we do this? Why are we trying? What do we care for? We care for humanity, we care for our planet, we care for our environment, and now we have to care about the outer space that we are already polluting. It's totally polluted by humans. So we have to think about all of these things, and the students start with, why are we doing this? Like a 2-year-old. 2-year-old, why? So we go back to that mindset, asking questions. Why are we doing this? And then the design becomes relevant. It humanizes the technology part, and it makes it desirable as a end solution.
Okay, that's very important. And let's say that we discussed a lot of things that hopefully that will be possibility to talk further about potential cooperation between LOTS, Dubai, Academy of Art, and all academic, we can say, society and innovative ecosystem we have here, and hopefully that will be very, very interesting new steps forward to build the leadership of the teams which could solve the global problems with the proper design.
I hope so. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bar.
Okay.